Welcome to Imagine That podcast with Big Henn and Keelowe. We got a special guest in the building tonight. She's a county commissioner in District 2. She's also on the Rice Park Committee as one of the trustees. And they had big things going on last week. And for the people that didn't get a chance to attend the meeting or whatever, we just wanted to bring on Miss Kate Jordan and let her speak to us about what the big improvements are at Rice Park on the horizon. And Miss Kate, we just like to offer the floor to you and let you speak about it.
Welcome, Ms. Kate. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really flattered to be one of your first guests on your podcast. I've been waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited. And the name of your podcast, Imagine That. I want everybody to imagine this. We had the opportunity for a young man who is working on his master's degree at University of Memphis. And I approached him and I said, give us a vision. Draw up something that we can work toward. And he came out with something that is outrageous, with a retention pond to go around a park, down into the trees, various other pavilions, different activities, water features, kayaking, fishing down at Rice Park. Imagine that. Imagine that. He's drawing up a state-of-the-art building. We're going to have another presentation probably in March or April after he finishes the drawings for the inside of the buildings, where there will be rooms where you can have meetings, where you can have events. There'll be an inside track, various other things that he's trying to put together for us to not only change the face of Rice Park, but change the face of West Tennessee. There's going to be nothing like that here. This is the perfect time for something like this to kick off. We've got Blue Oval down there. Everybody's in Blue Oval frenzy. We have an opportunity here to put Ripley, Lauderdale County, and Rice Park on the map for real. And imagine that. We're talking, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. But one of the things he did say that really impressed me was, while we're working toward this new venture, let's improve on what we have. We got to do some fundraising. We've got to make sure that the buildings that are there now are upgraded and taken care of. So we're going to need community support. But one of the things that's important when you get the community involved is we got to police ourselves. For people to want to come and be a part of what we want to be able to offer down there, they got to feel safe. And that's one of the things that we've got to do is we got to work on us. We've got to make sure that we can do things. And just like last Labor Day, when we did the event that we did uptown, we should be able to do that at Rice Park.
Yes.
And for it to go as smoothly and uneventful as it did up there. So, in the community, as your county commissioner in District 4, it's District 4.
I apologize.
It's okay. That's okay. But in the community, we as a people, I did a part of the presentation. I did a history of Rice Park, and I thought it was kind of different because I wasn't born and raised here, but I researched it. And there's a lot of people that did not know that W.G.L. Rice was white. And he donated this property to the Black community. He gave the Black community more than he gave the white community. He gave the Black community 50 acres. And he gave the white community 30. So he had a desire to see the events that have been going on Labor Day for all those years to come to fruition and have a place for it to happen. Ergo, Rice Park. But we've got to go back and remember our history. We've got to remember the people that struggled. I had on the screen, there was Loester Curry's picture and Mr. Winbush's picture, Miss Delphine Tyus, Miss Lou Smith, a lot of people who just poured into Rice Park. And we've got to get that same desire. I got a dog over here that's trying to bite me. we got to get that same desire and revamp the feeling about the park. You know, I've been here, you probably not know it now, but I've been here 32 years.
Okay.
And this is my home. This is my city, this is my county, that's my park. And I want to see it flourish. I want to see it restored to what you all saw, and grow even more with the things that are planning in the future. There's no limit to what Rice Park can be, but it's
Right.
going to take all of us. It's going to take the entire community. And it's not a black thing or a white thing, it's a community thing. You know, back in the day, the games that were played down there weren't just black people playing those games. It was everybody in the community came down to the park. There's a lot of people. Uh, Mark, you know Kevin Hayslip down at the Justice Center. He talks about fondly how he used to come down there and they used to play ball and stuff down there at the park. We want to revive that. I want to see that grow back into what it used to be, so that people can come down there, families can come down there. And the things that Josh is putting together, and the young man's name is Josh Yarbrough. He's Reverend Yarbrough from Elam's son. And the things that he's putting together for us are phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Anybody who wants to see the presentation, he sent me his whole PowerPoint. So if somebody wants to see it, just let me know and I'll send it to you so you can take a look and see what he's got to offer.
So let me ask you a question, Ms. K. What he's planning, what steps we got to take towards that, or is this, it's a time limit on that, or what's going on with that? The stuff that he's planning.
It's going to take a lot of money, and I'm talking a couple $1 million to complete what he's doing. But imagine that it can happen. It can happen.
Anything can happen.
We can make it happen. Right now, I got the day of the presentation, which was a week ago today. I got the last signature on the document to terminate the trust. That's going to be in the attorney's hands next week, and it's going to be presented to the court, to the city, to the county, and the state. And within the next 30 to 60 days, hopefully, the trust will be terminated. That means that...
Yeah, explain that part.
Okay, the ownership of the park reverts into the hands of the nonprofit. So, like I said the other night, for years, people have said that's our park. After that trust is terminated, that will be our park. And it will be up to us to maintain it.
Okay. So, trust meaning the trust was what, and now that it's not going to be that, it's called what now? So, what are we working towards to turn the trust into nonprofit, and what is the nonprofit called?
There's been a nonprofit in place at Rice Park since the 90s, a 501c3. And it's a nonprofit organization which will allow you to research and get grant money for funding to do various things on those grounds. The ownership, the people who will run the nonprofit will own that property and Cleveland Park. Because when the wheel was y'all want
the dog want to play them.
Y'all want a German Shepherd? Come up.
You want to play? You be hungry.
You see this dog right here?
They're good looking too.
So, but what happened when Mr. Rice put that property in his will? He put 3 men in charge of it, and the stipulation was that within 3 years, those properties were going to be cleared and made into the parks that they are today. And the people in the area over at Rice Park, they came together, they cut down trees. They cleared the land. They put outhouses up. They had a caretaker's building built out there. And that's how Rice Park came to be. that started in 1950 is when Mr. Rice died. In 1951, the park opened for the first time. Now, you all probably weren't even born then, but that's when it
Wow.
first became Rice Park. So it was up to, it was still, if it didn't happen, then the ownership of the property would return back to the estate of Mr. Rice and be sold. Well, they made it happen. So now we have the park. That park will become the ownership of the nonprofit organization, which is called the WGL Rice Park Corporation.
Okay.
And it will always remain, I think it should always remain that name, regardless of how big the space becomes. It should still have WGL Rice Park's name on it, because that's historically how it came to be. He gave that land over in trust for the people of the community, and it will belong to the people of the community.
So once the trust breaks, what's coming after that? What's next?
After that, it becomes the deed will be to the nonprofit, and we will have to make sure that people are in place. What we're talking about doing, you're going to have people bigger than us that are going to have to help us stay focused with this money. When we start raising this money, it's got to have some strong people with some strong background, with some strong financial skills to be able to handle it. And
Well,
go ahead, Mark.
Catch y'all, but I noticed that I didn't get a chance to see all the meeting. That's the reason why I wanted you to come on and enlighten us. I noticed that it was dignitaries in there and stuff. What pressure are we putting them under? Are we asking them for any help, or are we holding them accountable for anything, or we just letting them in the meetings without
You talking about the mayors and the aldermen and the other
yes.
kind of that were there?
Yes.
I have talked briefly to the current mayor of Ripley, and I asked him, well, when the trust is terminated, is the city of Ripley just going to walk away? He said no. Also, I know that as far as the county is concerned, that there will always, as long as I'm a commissioner and I'm on the budget committee, there will always be some money coming from the county to Rice Park, because we give money to nonprofits. So there'll always be some money coming there. What we're talking about doing, when we get public money, there are limits to what you can do with it, and it's got to be to maintain that property. So we're looking in different things. I've been trying to get a quotation from Curtis Electric about the lights on the ball field.
Right.
The lights on the back field, I guess, are fine, but the lights on the front field are the ones that Ripley Power and Light have disconnected. We've got to get Curtis Electric, they're the only electric company in the area, to come out there, give us a quotation as to what it's going to cost to fix those lights, to restore that ball field to a usable condition. And there's been some situations involved where I haven't been able to get that done. Right. But
so just his plan and layout, we talking millions of dollars, and what kind of time period do you think we could get this accomplished in?
Well, that would depend on the financing. We'd have to get a contractor, give them the plans. Actually, keep in mind what Josh is doing for us as a part of his master's program would cost us thousands to have a designer and engineer to draw up for us. I have to show you. In fact, I can text it to you or email you the presentation so you can see what he's talking about. You may not be able to show it on your podcast, but once you see it, you be able to let other people know exactly what we're looking at. What we're talking about. It's Pretty impressive.
So basically, this
but as far as time is concerned, I don't know how long it would take to build it. But I think we need to start with what we have. It's the long term. Short term, I think we need to start working on improving what we have.
Right.
And getting it right now in that building. The furnace doesn't work. That's why there are gas heaters on the walls. So, we need to get money to get the building, the current building, operable and in good condition. Because if that building is in good condition, what you're talking about doing as far as having a place for events and people renting out things, that could be done right where it is. Get some good chairs, some good tables, some good bathroom facilities, good kitchen facilities in that building as it stands right now. Because the building itself is sound. Needs some new doors on the front, some cosmetic things done to it.
Right.
And you'd be able to, you get revenue by just using what you got and improving on it. And work. Mark, you're a landlord. You know that sometimes you got to spend some money to make some money.
Yes.
So you have to take what you have, turn it into what you want it to be, and then move forward as we're going to try to improve and explode this vision.
Okay. The question is, how do we get the grassroots started to start the improvement process? What is our move A to B to C to D? I see the big plan, but what is it to get the heavy lifting started? What do we do to start the heavy lifting?
We've got to get people involved. Unfortunately, the community has got in their minds that the only thing Rice Park is good for is Labor Day. How do we go about changing the attitude that Rice Park? Josh gave us a theme. Rice Park can be, Labor Day can be every day at Rice Park.
Imagine
that. And if we did it and did it right, I need you guys' help. You guys you got the power base out there that can come together, and let's come together, come down there, clean it up. The outside has been painted. Let's work on the inside. What kind of fundraisers can we do to make some money? How can we make people feel safe by being there? Sunday afternoons, Saturday afternoons, we've got to start almost just like the people at the grassroots did, because in order to, unfortunately, Rice Park, anytime something happens in Parkview or it happens on Watkins Street, if they don't say where it happened, it's automatic that it happened at Rice Park.
Right. In case you didn't know, that's true. When you go across the railroad tracks, we all Rice Park. So when they do that, that's kind of what it is.
Okay.
That's kind of what it is. I mean, it's Parkview. When it go bad on Watkins, they spread it like that. That's been for 32 years. So that's been.
And you know what? But it's created such a stigma.
Both ways.
Right. People think, oh, I don't want to go down there. They're doing that. But how do we stop that? How do we stop people from doing it?
It's gonna be tough. I don't know. I can't answer that one. I just say we can work on it.
We do. Now let's just be candid. We know we got a gang problem in Lauderdale County.
Right.
How can we get them together to make sure that this particular area becomes neutral territory?
You don't get them together. You start with the people that want to be down there, and the gang members will move back. If we put something down there, if we put softball, baseball, basketball down there, things will change. But if you don't put nothing down there, other than just talk, that's who's gonna always be down there. We got to infuse it with the young people that know the gang members, that know the people, and you'll find out the gang members are husbands, brothers, uncles, daddies, aunties. You'll find out they all
people who have
but,
the children.
but we have none
have the kids. They scared to let their kids come down there. So how do we fix that?
Well, that's the point. It's a grassroots movement of kids that's already down there. It's a grassroots movement of people that's already down there. We just got to put the ball, the bat, the glove down there and organize it, and you will see that'll bag up. And the games will start. Not the game, but the games. Red and blue will turn into the Cubs, the Tigers. You know what I'm saying? They'll turn into, the Warriors. They'll turn into teams. They'll become something better and create a camaraderie. It'll happen, but it's like it's easy for everybody to say, I don't want to come, I don't want to come. And if you don't put enough structure down there, they don't want to come. But they don't want to come to it always play at Ripley New Park. They want to play at Rice Park because they want to play there. But it's never a coach there. It's never a ball there. It's never even a start there. So when you had the dignitaries there, if they would muscle up their supplies, and what I mean by supplies, getting the field right. We can start, the lights may cost too much, but the sun come out, we can start the games up at 4 o'clock, play to 7:30 till it get dark. And you wouldn't be able to imagine how many kids that'll come out that's not scared of Rice Park, that's not scared of that talk. And the people that's saying that's perfectly fine, and we'll show them with the people that want to be down there. But we got to start with
having some down there.
Having some down there. And having some down there is not real costly. It's just good volunteer work. That's all we really need. And from the volunteer work, you'll find out you got good fundraising people. You'll find out through the volunteer work, you got businessmen and people that can help on board and create revenues for the park to make money. But that's all we got down there because it's nothing. It's nothing. And when they do have some down there, basically everybody think that it's a church event and no one goes around it because no one wants to mess it up. You just notice it. Whenever somebody has some down there, no one comes around to bother them because they don't want to mess it up for them. They understand that it's somebody having something. And they're not running up in there doing nothing. They don't even run up in there because they respect the building. It's still sacred grounds, but it's nothing else to go along with the sacred grounds. So that's what's packed on it now is what you see because there's nothing for no one to do. Mm-hmm. And it's not real cost efficient. It don't cost a lot, to get a basketball team together. It don't cost a lot to get, a softball team together. It don't really cost a lot. And the ones that are not interested, the ones that say they're scared, bring their dollars in. Let their dollars come down there and sponsor a team. Stay away, but let your dollars come and sponsor a team.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. So, it's like
imagine.
It's like it's the park don't take millions of dollars for a smile. The park don't take millions of dollars to transfer lives. It just take the right kind of volunteer people and people, that got the right mindset to come down and get a time. Mm-hmm. But they got to understand when you come to Rice Park, you are not at Ripley City Park. The rules are a little different. Things not gonna always be right. Things never gonna be right. But at the same time, it's kids that appreciate the fact that they out the house can run and play and jump in their own community. And that right there is an abundance of kids. I see them walking through Rice Park every day, going to Autumn Hills, going to Parkview, and going to Watkins Street and Spiller Hill every day. So those people not scared of Rice Park under no circumstances because they got to walk through there to get to school every single day. So those are the people that I'm talking about. The people that's talking about they're scared, they may continue to be scared. But it's a core group of people of maybe 300 or 400 or 500 people right in this community, the Rice Park community, to support the park, gaining speed to become whatever it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? This right here could be the showcase of what he's trying to accomplish. Because we don't need the lights on for the game to start at 4:30. and you play the 6. In the last game, play the 6 till it get dark, and we get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Just that alone.
I agree.
Just that alone, because those kids are begging for
it. This has been talk.
Yes.
And but we've got to stop just speculating, and we got to start doing it. We got to start doing some things. We got to put some things together. It's difficult for one person to do the running and setting up and what have you. When we had the toy giveaway, I put out there and I asked people to donate toys. I'm buying toys now for next Christmas giveaway, but I need some help. I need some people in the community. There are very few people in this community that don't know me. And if I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So I keep trying to get people to come and back some things, but it takes you guys. It takes you guys to be there.
I think, Ms. K, not cutting you off.
Go ahead.
I think personally, once the trust is broken, and then we start rebuilding, doing, getting a board and all this stuff again, I think everything will fall back in place. Once we get back to the old board, we can have meetings and invite people. That's when it'll fall back in place. Mm-hmm. Whenever that trust is broken, it'll fall back in place.
Well, I think that's going to be the key. And Mark, I know you're passionate about it. I know you're passionate about it. We've got to get it so that it's manageable. Right now, that trust has held us hostage. It really has. It has prevented us from being able to do a lot of things in this community because you've got the courts involved and you've got people involved that are not don't truly have the best interest at heart. But it's in our community. These are our children. All of these are children. We've got. It doesn't make any difference what color these kids are. These kids need some place to play. They need something to do. You've got a big, beautiful. I showed some pictures of the grounds. It's beautiful down there. We just got to find some way to fix it so that people will come down there and do some things. Not only the kids, but we got senior citizens.
Yes.
What if we were able to have senior citizens bingo? You can't give them away money, but we can give away gifts.
Right.
Give them things. And we talked about this, Shannon, in another meeting. Give them some things that maybe their pension checks or their Social Security checks, excuse me, can't buy. Maybe some extra paper towels or some extra toilet tissue or some Kleenex or dishwashing liquid. Those types of things. When you have to make a decision whether you're going to buy food, medicine, or incidentals, we let's come together and keep pushing toward this trust being dissolved. The current board is eager for the trust to be dissolved so that we can start putting some things together, reaching out for some money, reaching out for some impact, getting some people on board that want to help and see it flourish. I want to see it before I'm gone. I want to see this vision. Imagine that before.
Right.
Ms. K, before we let you get out of here, I just want to put something on you that's a Rice Park bad myth that they say nobody wants to come down there. At 7:00 in the morning to 7:45, you can count the number of kids that walk to school. Mm-hmm. That their parents not asked about, are they scared to come down through there? And at 2:45 to 4:00, it's kids going back home to these neighborhoods. Those parents and kids are not the ones being asked about, are they scared to go to Rice Park? So we asking the people that's way out, but not the people.
I don't think they're under those circumstances. They're not scared.
No. I want to make the point that that's been what has held us back is no one wants to come. But no one has put their eyes on the fact that this community here has 3, 4, 5, 6 buses that come down through here. Those kids, no matter what, are forced to be a Rice Park area kid. So I'm just saying, when we say that, they never are the ones that get asked because they are the ones that really want it more than anybody. They're not on the basketball team. They're not on the football team. They're not on the basketball team. So, you know, the only game they pick up is the only game in town that's down there. Right. So, you know, that's what I just wanted to make sure that come out because that's what is being said. But they're not asking the core people to live in those neighborhoods that they call the Rice Park area, which is
let me tell you this. We had a board meeting not too long ago, and that was really one of the points that was brought out, that there are 200 or 300 children down there in that Parkview area, Rice Park, Watkins Street, in that particular area, every single day. One of the guys on the board is a bus driver, and he sees these children every single day. And it's been hard on all of us to say, we got to find something for these kids to do. We've got to have them so that there's something when they come through. If it ain't nothing but, Shannon, you be sitting up there selling them hot dogs or something to you know, something to get them involved. We need some chaperones on a Friday evening to maybe have a 6 o'clock to 9
o'clock be a dance,
dance or something
right
for the kids. But it takes people.
It do.
It takes people. It takes people, just like the Harold Winbushes and the Loester Currys and the Clarence Keeleys and those people who came down and donated their time. The Samuel Lees, Miss Lee, you know, putting things together for getting floats together for Labor Day and what have you.
Right.
These are the things we need. These people. Miss Delphine, bless her heart, she'll come down there every single summer and plant some flowers in them flowers down there, and bring water.
But you actually have people who out here really waiting to help do those things. They waiting, but like I said, until the doors are open, till it's open arms, people are allowed to come in and voice their opinion. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
We're going to need the entire community. It's going to be. We're going to need everybody to come down. We're going to have everybody at the table, not a select few. We need everybody. Cross that out. We're going to need everybody at the table to bring an idea. The only bad idea is the one that's not spoken.
Right.
We need ideas as to what to do. I didn't grow here. I didn't grow up here. So I don't have the experiences that a lot of people talk about. But I know what it's like to have fun.
Right.
I know what it's like to have someplace to go. I know what it's like that on Friday evening, if you know that every third Friday of the month, there's going to be a dance at Rice Park's Pavilion.
You keep saying you ain't been here. I mean, you ain't from here, but you've been here long enough to know how the park was when you first moved here to where it's at now.
Yes.
You've been here long enough to know that you experienced it.
And I tell you what, my mother died in 1994, and I had been here 2 years. One of the things she wanted to do when she got sick before she died, she said, I got to come back to Ripley before I die. And I brought her back here so that she could see a Labor Day carnival.
Right.
She died. And we need to be able to have something like that. Imagine that. And this is born and raised in Illinois. Her daughter moved to Ripley, Tennessee, and she wanted to make sure she got back to Ripley before she died. So, you know, just imagine that.
We sure thank you for coming on the show with us tonight, Ms. K. And hopefully soon we can turn this Rice Park thing around.
And if somebody want to come get this dog.
I know why I said dog get on your nerves. So.
And Ms. K, before we get out of here, we want you to plug your business and get an address and let them know, you know, about your Lafayette Mountain.
I have I print programs, Careful Printing. I just printed the young man the 17-year-old young man who was shot and killed in Dyersburg a couple weeks ago. His funeral is Saturday, and I just printed his program, and I do a lot of those. But Lafayette Manor at 127 Lafayette used to be where Farm Bureau was. It is. Come get this dog. It's an event center. I tried to make it as nice as I could.
It's nice.
If you want to see it, come by and holler at me. You want to rent it? 731-499-4333. Give me a call.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate you all's passion and concern about this community. You know, Rice Park is in my district, and this is my third term as your county commissioner. I try to make sure that I speak up for those of us who can't speak for themselves. You know, we got a lot of people in this community that need help, and we are a part of their help, and we can help them at Rice Park too.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Ms. K.
Have a good night, Ms. K.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate your time.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
all right.
Right.